How Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush can help each other out. Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff. I am your host, Alexis Carrillo, and tonight, September 24th, 2018, we've got yet another episode of Monday Night Raw, so let's get right into the official lineup for tonight's episode of WWE's flagship show. Bobby Lashley faces off against Elias in a rematch from last week's show that ended in a DQ after Kevin Owens came out, and it was all kind of a mess after that. But I wanted to point out the fact that we are starting to get a little bit more of Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley, their partnership, coming more into the spotlight for WWE. And as you all heard, as you all know, the title for this video is How Lashley and Rush Can Help Each Other Out. And you really do have to ask yourself that question. How can they help each other out, being that Lashley is this big behemoth of a man who, by all intents and purposes, should be in the main event of Monday Night Raw even more. He's got the look, and he's got the skills to do that. And Lio Rush, who should pretty much just be a part of 205 Live because of his size, his stature, and being the fact that he is a cruiserweight guy. But there's more to this partnership, at least to me. First of all, this partnership makes sense because Bobby Lashley is a babyface right now. WWE has pretty much been committed to making him a babyface ever since he returned, which, you know, I certainly wasn't a fan of him becoming a babyface, but hey, they want to run with it. And one of the biggest problems with Bobby Lashley being a babyface is the fact that it's very hard to work the mic in that role. You have to be very charismatic, very skilled to work that role and actually have fans like you in that role. And I think Lashley has struggled with his mic work as a face. Now here comes a man like Lio Rush. The 23-year-old independent darling Lio Rush, who by all intents and purposes in WWE would just be yet another superstar on 205 Live. They wouldn't have much importance for him, and for the mainstream casual fan, he would just be another 205 Live guy. Let's not pay attention to him. What this partnership brings to the fold is the fact that Lio Rush is charismatic. He has that swagger that everyone loves. He is very entertaining, as we saw last week. And most importantly, he can work the mic like a boss. He is a pro on the microphone, and what I like about Lio Rush is the fact that over the past few years in WWE, you usually had either heels or babyfaces that when they are insulted, they take it at heart and they start to try and go after whoever attacked them verbally. On the other hand, here comes a guy like Lio Rush, again charismatic, full of swagger, who just took that funny as hell comment from Elias about him being a kid, somebody's kid, and he just put it aside and went on to talk about his partnership with Lashley, went on to talk about how he thinks about Elias. And I think that's something that's been missing from WWE simply because there hasn't been that babyface or heel that can take an insult and either put it aside and then go after his opponent, or take that insult, turn it around on his opponent and make him look bad. And I think Lio Rush can do those things. And finally, this partnership works because Lashley as a face, like I said, does not work. As a heel, that would be a totally different question. If you don't know his heel mic work, it's gotten pretty better since his days in Impact. So I think this partnership benefits both members, puts them both on a spotlight, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future for this partnership tonight and in the next few episodes of Monday Night Raw. And obviously now we have WWE leading up to WWE Super Showdown on October 6th at Melbourne, Australia. That's going to be their main focus for Raw tonight and for the next couple of weeks of Raw. So the Shield holds strong. They're going to be building up this 6-man tag team match at Super Showdown between the Shield and Braun Strowman's pack. So accompanying that is the fact that Ziggler and McIntyre defend their Raw tag team titles against the Revival. Now, one thing to consider about this, I certainly doubt that WWE is gonna weaken McIntyre and Ziggler on the road to that network special by having them lose the titles to the Revival. So I think the Revival winning the tag team titles tonight is completely out of the question. What I do think, and if I were in charge, what I would do is have the Revival win this match by DQ. Have Ziggler and McIntyre just beat the hell out of them, not before the Revival gets some offense, not before you can, give the fans in attendance a chance to get on board with the Revival as babyfaces. And then after the Super Showdown, after the 6-man tag, maybe you bring back the Revival as babyfaces to take the titles off of McIntyre and Ziggler, or, Ambrose and Rollins could enter that equation, but you really have to elevate the tag team division, and Ziggler and McIntyre have to stay strong, at least for tonight. Brie Bella faces off against Ruby Riott, obviously leading up to another 6-woman tag team match at Super Showdown. The Bella Twins tag with Ronda Rousey to face off against the Riott Squad. I think this is just going to be a pit stop for that match right here tonight. And honestly, I think Ruby Riott should get the win right here, because on the other side you got the Bella Twins, who WWE is touting as, one of the main parts of the WWE evolution. And you've got Ronda Rousey as a Raw Women's Champion, so you've got to give a little bit of strength, you've got to give a little bit of momentum to the Riott Squad. So that's what I would try to do with this match. Give Ruby Riott the win by interference, by cheating, whatever. Just give her the win, give the Riott Squad some momentum leading up to this match. And as it pertains to the fact that the Bella Twins, specifically Brie Bella, is a part of Raw and SmackDown, both brands, I really find no importance to that. I know a lot of fans on social media are really questioning this, hating on this, really, because they're the Bella Twins. They haven't really garnered a lot of hardcore wrestling fans over the years. But the fact of the matter is, WWE doesn't really have a rule book. Their rules change depending on the stories they want to tell, depending on where they want to take their shows, depending on where they want to take their superstars, and that has not changed in the case of the Bellas. So I really don't give them that much importance on this part of having the Bella Twins on both shows, other than the fact that yes, the Bella Twins served as the transition from the pure divas before the women's evolution into the new women's superstars that we have now in the 4 horsewomen. So I do think the Bella Twins are important in this women's evolution, and I think fans on social media should give them more credit than the hate that they are actually receiving, because one thing I like to point out is, no matter how much you like someone or how much you hate someone, you can't take away their accomplishments, you can't take away what they've done for whatever division or whatever championship they've been a part of in the past. That's at least how I see it. You the fans on social media may have a different point of view on this. Leave it on the comment section below. Love to hear your take on that. And you have Nia Jax returning last week to Monday Night Raw. Yeah, she returned, but I don't see her as a big threat to Ronda Rousey. I don't see her as a big threat in the women's division, at least not right now, at least not with that return. So, pretty much eventless return for Nia Jax. And finally, there's a particular segment or a particular line on the lineup saying ready, willing, and Gable, obviously alluding to the partnership between Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. They might be facing off against the Ascension tonight in yet another rematch. And That's what I don't like about WWE programming. It's rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch. They might have to rethink about that because it really sucks the excitement out of the show. And Chad Gable and Bobby Roode's partnership will, at least for me, one day end with hopefully Bobby Roode turning heel on the Kid, and we can see maybe something close to Bobby Roode's it factor of professional wrestling character that we saw all the way back in TNA Wrestling. Hopefully in the future, that would be entertaining. But, this is the Raw lineup for tonight's episode. Not much to get excited about. But hey, you gotta have some filler episodes for Monday Night Raw. So what do you think about tonight's lineup of Monday Night Raw? Do you like it? Are you excited about it? Do you think they should do something better with the Monday Night Raw show? What are your expectations for tonight's show? Leave them on the comments section below. If you follow wrestling news, comments, previews, discussions, debates, all that kind of good stuff, consider subscribing. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. And that's it for me. Till next time.